how to maintain your self-worth and your emotional well-being despite being in a rock bottom or any sort of difficult. It can be grief, loss of a job, money struggles, financial struggles, lose of someone, or maybe just anything in particular. There's so many things that happen in our life, like in an average human's life. You can't just say that your life is so perfect and nothing is going wrong. And the reason why I'm creating this video is because I'm currently working on myself through a very difficult situation, and also I'm just kind of wondering who else is also struggling like me. And also like just the thought of like how much your emotional well-being manifests what becomes of your life, how your internal feels reflects on the outside. I was quite a skeptical on this idea, but the last 6 months of my life, I cannot say they were good. And I cannot also define them as horrible. I can define them as just moments of clarity, because I've had like the most difficult 6 months, but I'm feeling like my mind is so clear, my heart is so clear. Like I can literally just like perceive things to a deeper level that I've never been able to. And so creating this video is so important because it's just part of the things that I've been doing that have really helped me to come back to myself and feel like myself again. And you know, the reason why I'm creating this video also, it's because once you're going through a hard time, it's so easy to forget who you are. It's so easy to forget that you are an infinite being. You'll always exist no matter what happens. We always caught up in the middle of like, oh my god, I've lost my job, it's the end of everything. I think I'm going through a lot and that's the end of everything. And that's when depression comes in, and that's when you start to have like anger issues, and that's when like you start to have like issues of like thinking about killing yourself and stuff like that. Which once you're here, you just exist, you don't have a choice but to move forward. So first thing first, for me, the one that works the most is affirmations. Affirmations are so great because they just take you back to yourself, like remembering like I'm so amazing, I'm worth of everything, even when I cannot see it, even if no one sees it, I have to see it, because the thing is, you're the only person that exists, so you have to make sure that you get to give yourself all the credit that you deserve. You think that you know people, you don't know anyone. You think that people know you, no one knows you. People know a perception of what they think of you, so make sure you just be okay, even though you can be having like the worst times of life. Like currently I'm in the worst times of life, and I'm making this video because it's just so important to me that I just start to put myself out there, and it doesn't matter what is happening in my life. So that's the first one. Then the second one is movements. You should try so much to move, even if it's just walking, even if it's just stretching. Because I realized when I was like having the worst anxiety attacks in January, I wasn't moving. I was literally all day in bed, just walking around. And sometimes I never even woke up from bed. I was always in the bed. And then I came to realize that the issue was that I wasn't moving. So movement is actually so important. You need to move, stretch your body. Even if you cannot walk, just stretch your body. Walk, go to the gym, run in the morning. I literally run sometimes, not always, but I do sometimes. I walk at least twice a week, and I also stretch. So after doing all that, I started to feel so much better. Despite everything that was happening, I was feeling so much better because I came to a realization that there are things we cannot control. We just have to sit in and feel it. Number three is the most important. I wish I could start with this one. Just reminding yourself that nothing defines you. Like nothing in this world defines you except the perception you've chosen to believe on your subconscious mind. No matter what is happening, whether you're going through grief, you're losing someone, or maybe a breakup or financial struggles, nothing defines you because you're an infinite being, you're a soul, you're a spirit, and nothing defines you. Nothing. All these things are just experiences. These things are just passing. They just like, let me give you this kind of like thought and think about this. When you think about the things you went through when you were younger, let's say like a teenager or like younger adult or whatever age it was, it looks like a story. It looks like just a story, and you're like a third person perceiving that story. And having that thought, I always tell myself nothing is that deep. Every time I tell myself nothing is that deep, I feel like things start to get easy. But the moment I'm like, oh my god, how do I get out of this? I'm so worried, I'm super stressed out. I realize that I end up getting more stressed. Things get even worse. And so to say, nothing is ever that deep. Just remind yourself you're an infinite being, you're a soul. Your body is just a body you borrowed for this physical world. to just experience life, and all the limitations that exist are nothing. They're just like things that you will just pass through and move to the next step. And there's always like days when things are not working out, and you have to just allow yourself to just perceive it like that. It's way better. And then the fourth one, you can actually remind yourself of the worst days you've had. Like me, I have like days when things were so bad, especially like in my childhood. And I look back and I'm like, how did I come out of that? Like, I didn't even imagine there was one day I'll wake up and I'm like not part of whatever was happening. And now I'm looking back, it looks like a story. It doesn't even feel real to me. Somehow I'll say it's because I've also healed somehow, and that's why I can see it and be like, oh wow, that's crazy. But anyway, that's part of my journey, and everything is valid and connected. So looking at the things you went through when you thought that that thing is so hard to get out of, and you actually made it out. So whatever is happening right now, it's nothing different. Even if the situation might look kind of like this is way too much, because when you get older, the more knowledge you get, the more you get like a lot of like tests to verify whether the knowledge you have is actually in you, or it's just something you are trying to entertain, because there's always a difference between knowing something and also practicing it in real life. The fifth thing you have to make sure that you do, you have to allow yourself to feel those emotions, because I'm not lying, this is so real. When you run away from this feeling and always keep yourself busy with other things, always fix something, those feelings will haunt you. They will come for you. They will make sure this is, and they will come at a very bad time, the time that you did not expect. Because now, after running away from maybe grief or maybe loss of something or maybe just a hard situation, the more you run away from this thing, the more it comes after you. I'm not saying that you shouldn't keep on going with your life. I'm just saying you should not ignore the situation completely. That means the thoughts that come with the situation, the feelings, you should allow them to come in. You don't have to digest them. Just try to like brainstorm about them. Like, just try to sit in it, feel them. Because let me tell you what happened to me last year. I realized that whatever I was running away my whole life came back to me, and it was telling me, now it's time for you to feel me. And this is crazy, because before I wasn't a super sensitive person. I was sensitive, but not super sensitive. I could feel I was feeling people's feelings. Like, I'm sort of an empath. I could feel like whatever and whatever, but I never took time to feel my own feelings and really understand them. I never took any time to sit with my feelings. I was always running after something. And I feel like being a workaholic was part of those things. I was working like crazy. I was working like 5 jobs just to make sure I'm not even able to think about anything, just working, and coming home sleeping. So my whole life, I will say, I've been running away from most of the things that hurt me. And eventually, all those things came back, and they were like, you must feel us. And it really broke me so hard. The funny part is, at this point, I wasn't having anything in my life that I was like stressed about or maybe sad about. It was a point of my life where I was feeling like everything is working out for me. And then things just went crazy. And after that whole situation, I don't know even how I can explain how the whole thing went down. After the whole situation, I started to feel like I could feel things more strongly. Like, when I'm sad, I'm like sad. When I'm happy, like I'm so happy. And it's like emotions were so heightened. Even like my whole like physical being, like my whole like this physical senses, hearing, speaking, it felt like I could hear like noises, but this time round they were like super loud. And this was so crazy, because this led me to even stop going to work, stop like being around crowds in buses and all. Like, it felt like I could feel people's energies. It's like when I'm around people, I can just feel so drained. And when I'm in a loud place, when I come back, I'm like going to die. It's like when I'm in a very loud place, all that noise, it's like absorbing in my body. It's so loud and weird. So I'm just kind of saying, it's just me saying it, allow yourself to feel the emotion, especially during that moment. Whatever is happening, feel it that moment. Cry if you can, go to therapy if you can, do whatever it takes for you to feel those emotions. Eventually, when you feel them, it's going to be so easy for you to move on. But if you don't feel the emotions, they will come for you. That is something I'm promising you. It's not just me. I've had so many people talk about this. And once you ignore those feelings, especially we always try to ignore the most painful feelings. And those are the ones that are the most dangerous to avoid, because they always come back for you. They will always come back for you. It's like life will take you through the same path in a loop until you realize that it's actually a message for you to correct something. And part of that will be maybe the kind of emotions you were supposed to experience at a particular event, and you ignored the emotion and you moved on like nothing was happening. So just make sure you feel those emotions, sit in them and feel them. Okay. Since things are kind of super crazy during a difficult time, sometimes it's so hard to do, like, especially let's say you're at a rock bottom, things sound to not work out or seem, let's use the word seem, because it's not like it's just a perception. And in this time, sometimes you might try to run after big goals, but you might not achieve any during this time. So at this time, maybe it's just good for you to narrow down your goals or your wins, narrow them down to just like being able to clean your house, being able to be emotionally well, just making sure you check in with yourself, just being able to take a shower and like do small stuff, eating food, like checking how you eat, like small things. I think once you narrow the small wins to be the main things get better. For me, I was so stressed and I was always worried during this hard time because I had a copyright on YouTube. I'll talk about that in another video. And everything stopped. It felt like the world has just done like this. And I thought I would die. But I'm here. That's why I'm making this video. And me narrowing down my goals to small things like going for a walk, eating, making my bed, taking a shower, making sure I'm not going crazy or I'm not killing myself. That was the most simple things I could have done during this time, and I'm just hopeful that it's coming to an end. Because, well, rock bottom is crazy, and you need those small things. You don't need everything. Sometimes I feel like people overthink things, and they always like this notion of like you always have to be hardworking, ambitious, going through something and working towards something. It's not all the time in your life you'll be in that position, whether you like it or not. There are times when God will just say no, you have to sit here. And always the crazy thing is that's actually the time when you actually grow the most, because when I look back at the times when I had the most difficult situations, after that, what came after that was great. It's just that I wasn't self-aware to see things clearly like I can see right now. Make sure you say no. That's number 7. Make sure you say no to everything that is draining you emotionally and mentally. That includes people, TV shows, anything online, TikTok videos. Some things are just draining so much. For example, if you're going through any sort of insecurity, for example, maybe you're going through a weight, body stuff like insecurity, and then you literally go down to watching someone's video who was maybe overweight, and people down there are commenting negatively, and you just go ahead and you start reading. What do you expect? Obviously you'll feel the same, you'll feel even worse, because it's like you're trying to heal from this thing, you're trying to work yourself through it, but you're still going back to consume information about the same thing. So no matter how much energy you're going to use, it's going to take you a lot to get out of that part. So it means negative people, anyone who is trying to not help you and support you during this time, let go of those people. Don't hold on to those people. Even if you think they're the best people in the world has 8 billion and above people, and only this one person you're stressed about, let them go. And also, like, anything, even if it's a TV show, news is the big one. News is the big one. I usually tell people that I don't watch news, and they're like, you're crazy, why don't you watch news? But to be honest, since I never watched news, it's been like more than 2 years. I feel like my mind is clear. My mind is so clear. And I'm becoming more positive. I feel like I'm more positive than I used to be. Even in the worst situations, I'll be like, let's see what happens. Because I have no clue of the future. I can only be happy right now. I can only make useful of right now. And that's why I stopped watching news, because I feel like I became more positive. I started to view life differently. And especially growing up in survival mode, news is the last thing I should be watching. Even though I get to access the most important information in my own way, but me just going to a television and saying, let me watch this news, I'm really sorry if someone gets annoyed at this, but I don't think I'll ever watch news. I'm not really sure I've ever, because ever since I stopped watching news, I feel so different. Very different, because just having like bad news every single time, and you're trying to work on yourself, the things that are going in a direction you don't want, it's a total minus to your progress. That's just a fact, whether you like it or not. Okay, now that we have said no to the things that we don't like, I think the next thing will be now to allow a yes for the things that we want, the things that give us purpose, the things that make us happy, the things that just help us to get better. For example, I'm a movie person. I like watching movies, and movies are just something else to me. I lose my mind and like be in the movie. So for me, like I literally make sure at least I watch one movie a day, at least just to get my mind away from real life, because real life sometimes can be a lot. So when you take your moment to just go and imagine and see how much imagination can work. Actually, movies help me so much to create my imaginations. Even when I read a book, I start to have a picture in mind of what is happening. So create space for something that you like, whatever kind of hobbies you have, or you can do this also with people. You can also talk to people you like, or people who are positive about your situation, or people who are willing to support your situation, or people who just are amazing to spend time with. I don't know how you define the good moments and good things and good people. That's a personal decision, because for me, I have my own way and everyone else has their own way. And whatever way you feel like this is helping me to feel better, do them. Go and play that game, whatever things you do to feel better. And then lastly is my number one top tier. I wish I could say this one first. Meditation. Meditation, no matter what you're told about meditation with whoever said it, people have so many perceptions, because I don't know anything new they'll say that's evil, that's satanic, just because they have no idea what meditation is. In according to my kind of like study I've done, meditation has been there for a very long time. It's always been there. It's just that so many things happen in between here. People stopped how to like learn how to meditate. So if you do meditation, you add breath work to that, you'll thank me later. Even when things are crazy, your mind will be very sharp and you'll just start to see things more clearly. It's like you'll start to see, what do I do next? Why do I go next? It's like it's small steps and they add to a bigger thing. And you can always never have like a full answer. You always get answers slowly. There's no way you just wake up and say, now I have all the answers and I can solve everything. Even if you're an infinite being, you're still in a body, and a body has limits, and being a human being comes with limitation. And for you to at least assess your blueprint, going within, I think is the best thing to do. Going within, going in yourself, especially in this difficult situation. Because like for me, like even 3 weeks ago, I was looking at myself and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? First of all, I'm idle. Second thing, I'm struggling financially. Another thing, like things are crazy. So the best thing, maybe just go within, go inside, meditate, do some breath work, relax, have moments of just mindful meditation. Sometimes you don't have to always be on your phone or always doing something. You can just gaze at the sky at night, during the day, watch some animals or birds, whatever, anything. Because now it's actually the season when birds are actually so many. So you can even just look at the birds and enjoy the life that is there, and enjoy the fact that you're actually here. Because there are times when you can't always have like a quick solution, especially if it's kind of like solution comes to, for example, you're going through a grief. Sometimes, no matter how many videos that you watch that are going to tell you how to handle your grief and stages of grieving or grieving or whatever, you only need to relax. You just need to take some time away from everything. And to be honest, I've just realized that I was destined to live in a very, very quiet place, because of how much my own mind is very loud. My mind is so loud. And just being in a mindful state and just observing things, at first for me it was so hard, but I've learned to try my best to at least 1 hour, because I used to sit somewhere 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I'm like, I need to be going. It's like your ego wants to always be doing something. So you need to be careful when you literally start to do mindful meditation, because your body is so used to moving and going. And once you relax, it doesn't want that. It just wants to be moving, because that's how we've been trained. You always have to be very resourceful, very important, very ambitious, going after something. And that's not always the case, especially when you're at your rock bottom. The moments of silence and quietness are actually the most important than anything else, because it's like sometimes you're even talking to someone and you feel like they're not even understanding you. So just sit in silence, talk to yourself. You understand yourself better. And I said earlier, no one knows you. People have masks, and the kind of perception that you think people know about you, no one knows. People just know a projection of what they project and think of you. And so you need to just focus on how you feel inside. because that carries so much. The more good you feel inside, the more things start to get better. It's like there's no any other blueprint. The whole blueprint is to be happy. It's not to make sure that it's not that you always like, hey, I'm so happy. Sometimes you can just be content. Like me, I'm always like a chill person, so I can just be like chilled and content. I don't have to be shouting and saying, yay, I'm happy. And so it's so important, because when you're manifesting your life or like moving towards your dreams, the way you feel is so important. It helps so much in the decisions you make. When you make your decision when you're sad and you're angry, it's so different when you're joyful and you're also excited. It's so different, because the joyful one will come from a place of curiosity and wonder and mystery, like what's gonna happen, like you're so excited. But the anger or sad one, that one will come from a place of frustration and maybe giving up and stuff like that. So it's so good that you make sure that you feel good. Always make sure you feel good. Doesn't matter what is happening. These things are just passing. They have nothing to do with you. They have yes, there are experiences that you have to experience, but you don't have to make sure that they actually define your personality, your well-being, and your self-worth. Your self-worth is always top notch, no matter what is happening.